You were the smart kid, the one who always had the answer, the one teachers loved, the one who was supposed to go far. But now you're sitting alone, scrolling through your phone, wondering why everyone else seems to have figured out this whole connection thing. Except you. Here's the paradox. The same intelligence that set you apart as a child is now the thing keeping you isolated as an adult. And today, we're going to talk about why that happens, and more importantly, how to fix it. Welcome to MindSpark Psychology. In today's episode, we're going to discuss why intelligent people feel lonely and how you can change that. If you've spent most of your life thinking, why doesn't anyone understand me? This episode is for you, because the problem isn't you, the problem is how your brain works. Let's be clear, loneliness isn't a personality flaw, it's a side effect of your intelligence. And today, you're going to learn how to overcome that side effect. It all starts in your childhood, remember? You were always the one raising your hand in class. When the teacher asked a question, you had the answer, before the other kids even started thinking. You got high grades on tests. You finished books before everyone else. And what did you get in return? Praise, recognition, the message that you're special. But you also got something else, separation, because being smart set you apart from the others. Teachers treated you differently. Your classmates saw you differently. And over time, you started to feel different too. At first, this was a good thing. Being special, getting attention, being the gifted kid, these things felt good. But then, something changed. Social dynamics became more complex. Other kids started forming friendships, joining groups, playing social games. And you were still running ahead, mentally. While they were having fun with simple things, you got bored. While they were having surface-level conversations, you were thinking about deeper things. While they were bonding with each other, you stood on the sidelines and observed. And that's when you realized, being smart makes connection harder. So why do smart people feel lonelier? There are several psychological reasons for this. Reason 1, fewer people are on your wavelength. Think about it statistically. Intelligence is distributed on a bell curve. Most people cluster around the average. But if you're above average, the number of people who think at your level decreases. And this makes genuine connection harder, because connection requires common ground, shared interests, shared ways of thinking, shared values. But most people aren't interested in the things you're interested in. The topics they talk about feel shallow to you. The things they care about feel meaningless to you. And this leaves you alone. Reason 2, the need for intellectual stimulation. Smart people need intellectual stimulation. Deep conversations, complex ideas, meaningful debates. But most social interactions don't offer these. Instead, most conversations go like this. Small talk about the weather, everyday gossip, superficial pleasantries. And these kinds of conversations aren't mentally satisfying for an intelligent person. They can even be draining, because you're constantly playing a game, the pretending to be interested while actually being bored game. And that's exhausting. Very exhausting. Reason 3, overanalysis and social anxiety. Here's an irony. Smart people often overanalyze social interactions. You plan what you're going to say. You calculate how what you say will be perceived. You mentally process every word, every gesture, every reaction. And this kills spontaneous connection, because real connection is based on feeling, not analysis. But you're thinking instead of feeling. The result? Social interactions become a performance. And performing is tiring. Reason 4, high standards. Smart people usually have high standards, not just for themselves, but for others too. And this leads to disappointment in relationships, because most people don't meet your standards, intellectually, emotionally, or in terms of values. And you find yourself thinking, why doesn't anyone think as deeply as I do? Why doesn't anyone care? But here's the truth. They do care. They just care differently. And you see that as a deficiency. Now things get interesting, because loneliness becomes a cycle, a vicious cycle. Here's how it works. Step 1, you try to connect. At first, you make an effort. You talk to people, you attend social events, you try to make friends, but you keep feeling the same thing. This isn't for me. Step 2. You get disappointed. After a few disappointments, you notice a pattern. People don't understand you. Conversations don't satisfy you. Relationships stay superficial. And you start thinking, maybe the problem is me. Step 3. You withdraw after enough disappointments, you withdraw. You avoid social events. You decline invitations. You convince yourself that you're more comfortable alone. And for a while, this makes sense. Because being alone is at least predictable, safe, controllable. Step 4. Loneliness becomes normalized. Over time, loneliness becomes part of your identity. I'm just an introvert. I don't like people. I'm happier alone. But these are defense mechanisms. Because here's the truth. Humans are designed to connect, and no matter how much you deny it, part of you still craves connection. Step 5. The ego steps in, and then the ego steps in. You tell yourself, I'm different from others. I'm deeper. They're not smart enough to understand me. And this protects you, because instead of feeling the pain of rejection, you feel superior. But it's an illusion, because inside, you're still alone. Science confirms this phenomenon. Research shows that people with higher IQs are less satisfied with social interactions. A study published in the British Journal of Psychology in 2016 found something surprising. For most people, socializing increases happiness. But for intelligent people, it works in reverse. The more they socialize, the less happy they become. Why? Because smart people experience social interactions as a burden. It consumes mental energy, and it gives very little in return. Another study found that individuals with high IQs have fewer friends. But those relationships are deeper. This makes sense, because smart people prefer quality over quantity. But here's the problem. Quality connections are hard to find. Now let's move to the solution. If you want to break out of this loneliness cycle, you need to change your identity. Let go of the I'm the smart kid identity, because this identity limits you. It puts you in a category, and you reject anything that doesn't fit that category. Instead, define yourself this way. I'm someone who's growing. This might seem like a small change, but it's powerful, because being smart is a fixed trait, but growing is a process. And a process-oriented identity gives you flexibility. It allows you to try new things. It allows you to fail. Practical step, tell yourself, I don't always have to be smart. I just need to be curious. This reduces the pressure, and it makes social interactions less threatening. Smart people are usually good at cognitive empathy. Cognitive empathy is understanding what someone is thinking, following their logic, mentally simulating their perspective. But this isn't emotional empathy. Emotional empathy is feeling what someone is feeling, resonating with their emotions, being there with them. And smart people often struggle with emotional empathy. Why? Because they're so used to analyzing that they forget to feel. State a practical step. In your next social interaction, stop analyzing. Just listen. Don't plan what you're going to say. Don't prepare a response. Just be there. And try to feel the emotion beneath what the person is saying. This might feel strange at first, but over time, it allows you to form deeper connections. High standards are a good thing, but only for yourself. Applying high standards to others leaves you alone, because no one is perfect. And if you're looking for perfection, you'll be disappointed. Instead, accept this. People are flawed, and that's okay. In fact, flaws make connection possible, because real connection isn't about perfection, it's about vulnerability. Practical step. In your next social interaction, don't judge whether someone is smart enough. Instead, approach them with curiosity. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this person? Because everyone knows something. Everyone has a story. And if you listen carefully enough, you can find something in every interaction. Here's the truth. Not everyone is right for you, and that's okay. But it doesn't mean that no one is right for you. Your tribe exists. People who think like you. People who are curious like you. But to find them, you have to search. Practical step. Pursue your intellectual interests. Join clubs. Attend meetups. participate in online communities, and be patient because deep connections take time, but when you find them, everything changes. Here's a mistake smart people make: completely rejecting superficial conversations. But here's the truth: superficial conversations are the bridge to deep connections. Talking about the weather might seem pointless, but it's an entry ritual, a way to build trust. And if you expect every conversation to be deep, you won't connect with anyone. Practical step: see small talk not as a test, but as a starting point. The first 5 minutes might be superficial, but by the 10th minute, you might find depth. Just be patient and don't close the door. Smart people feel lonely. This is a fact. But there's a solution. Change your identity. Shift from cognitive to emotional empathy. Reevaluate your standards. Find your tribe. And don't reject superficial connections. These might seem like small steps, but when combined, they're powerful, because loneliness isn't a destiny. It's just the path you've been following until now, and you can change the path. If this episode resonated with you, please leave a comment. What part connected with you? Are you struggling with this? Let me know, because this isn't just a monologue, this is a conversation. Thank you for joining MindSpark Psychology. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care of yourself. And remember, being smart doesn't have to make you lonely. It might just take a little longer to find the right people, but when you find them, it's worth everything.